house, good afternoon. Behind my house, 16 Prior Lane, in 1990.
Okay.
That was the last we did when my grandmother was still alive. Many ladies from the village also came to help because those days it was real family.
That was
Real
about
Gotong, 1990.
that was about 33 years ago.
Yes, that was the last we put up this kind of decoration. So we want to revive the tradition, the history,
Okay.
because that is our identity. It's important.
Okay.
If we don't, we will lose this part of our tradition and our history.
Okay.
Eventually a day will come and we will just know nothing about our past.
Yeah.
And it's such a rich culture, such a rich tradition.
Yes.
Why don't we just carry on and pass it on to the next generation?
Yes.
Because you have the same Assumption Church in PJ, same Assumption Church in Penang,
Okay.
but you don't have the same decoration. Why?
Oh, yes.
Because they don't have any history.
Yes.
We have the history. The history of how the Dutch persecuted the Catholics when they came and took over Melaka.
Okay.
They were reformists.
Okay.
They were from the Protestant, or they were Protestant. They were from the Reformed Church.
Okay.
So they kind of banned the Catholic faith,
Okay.
and the faithful had to take the religion,
Okay.
so-called underground, into the hinterland
Okay.
to celebrate the feast. So for this feast also we use sugarcane
Sugarcane.
as a traditional form of decoration.
Okay.
The idea came about by our forefathers who thought it would be a noble idea to use sugarcane so our succeeding generation will know how difficult it was then to be a Catholic. The amount of difficult times that you were put under.
Very
Okay?
true. Very true.
So that is why it's so important to maintain this tradition. So let our young people know that their forefathers were heroes
Very true.
in being able to carry on the faith. Okay, the faith of their ancestors, the faith of our forefathers. Okay, so that is why sugarcane is used. Is to remind the succeeding generations of those difficult years during the Dutch persecution of the Catholics in Melaka.
Okay.
They suppress, they oppress, and when the Dutch became friends with the Portuguese during the Spanish Succession War in Europe, that's when the Dutch became more tolerant and allowed the Catholics to return to the city to profess, to celebrate their feast in public, openly. And that is why I say our forefathers had that idea, that brilliant idea, that noble idea to use sugarcane to remind the generations that once the celebration of the Assumption was held in the sugarcane plantation during Dutch occupation of Melaka, and when, like I say, it was done in secret away from Dutch authorities. So that is the tradition. Nothing to do with the Chinese tradition of tikong, nothing to do. Same story line more or less. They were also under persecution, and then they used sugarcane, or they helped their celebration in the sugarcane plantation, something like that.
I was nicer than yours.
So
I know.
what I'm trying to say is that idea of using sugarcane is not a copycat. We have our own tradition. You have the Church of Assumption in Penang. They don't use sugarcane. They have no history. You have the Assumption Church in PJ. They don't use sugarcane because they have no history. The history is only in Melaka. I think the only church in this part of the world use sugarcane to decorate the church externally, the route of procession during the Feast of Assumption, 15th of August every year. So we want to keep on the tradition. But it's just difficult now because there is no community that was like it was when I was growing up. We had our grandparents around, we had our aunties around, we had many people around, the fishermen, a lot of people. But we are trying to gather that again, trying to bring the people back to celebrate the feast in such a very traditional, auspicious, really fun way of doing things here.
Very
How
rich.
we come together as community.
Very rich values.
And not only us Catholics, Christians, we get also all the others, the Chinese residents, the Malays, even the Indians, all come and give a helping hand.
Very rich values.
So we want to kind of bring that multiracial, multicultural, multi-ethnic sense of Malaysian.
Yes.
Like we're going to celebrate Malaysia Day very soon.
Yes.
That is one of the main items. Unity in diversity.
Yes.
Unity in all our differences, but Yet that is our strength. Thank you.